Hello, children. Uh, Today we will continue again with the next topic of this chapter, that is our history of Indian subcontinent. Yeah, video part number 2 of physical features of India. In part 1, we have tried to understand how these landforms are created on this earth. Yeah, before studying about the different features of India. But now, before continuing different types of landform available in India, first we will understand how the Indian subcontinent is formed, how it got its structure, how we are identified at Indian subcontinent or as India. Yeah, so we'll start with this. Okay, oldest landmass. So the oldest landmass means the peninsula. So before we divided the landmass, we know on earth we have water and land. So the oldest landmass was a part of the Gondwana land. So it is the oldest landmass, Gondwana land. So I can write it, oldest landmass, Gondwana land. Then we have, so the oldest landmass, the big plot of landmass was named as Gondwana land. Okay, the Gondwana land includes India, Australia, South Africa, South America, and Antarctica as one single landmass. So it includes not only India, but so all these continents which we have it today, all these together, the combined earlier were known as Gondwana land, South Africa, and Antarctica as one single landmass. So all these together combinedly were made one single landmass on this earth. Yeah, and that was known as Gondwana. Now let us understand how it gets separated. See, for separation definitely you need to go to tectonic plates. The result of tectonic plates, the movement in the tectonic plates, yeah, has resulted in separation of all these continents. The conventional current splits the crust into the number of pieces. The outermost earth layer we have studied in last video, the crust. Yeah. So I can write currents splits the crust into a number of pieces, So earlier it was combined, a big Gondwana land which includes India, Australia, South America, South Africa, Antarctica as a single landmass. Current splits means the changes of the current splits this big landmass into number of small pieces. Now, thus leading to the drifting to the Indo-Australian plates after being separated from Gondwana land. So it drifted, being aparted, drifting So earlier it was Indo-Australian plate. So we were combined with Australia, a big landmass, India and Australia. Once we get it separated from this, from the Gondwana land towards the north, we move towards the north. Okay, because you can see Antarctica is also there. So we move towards the north. The northward drift resulted in the coalition of the plates with a much larger Eurasian plate. So coalition. Now again, coalition means coming together. When they come together, what will happen? It will form a fold northwards. Again we move upwards with the coalition. Plate Eurasian. Due to this coalition, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geoslime known as Thyaces were folded to form the mountain system Western Asias and Himalayas. Western Asias and Himalayas. The sedimentary rocks formation of Himalayas. Okay, so this is the process. If you look at the formation of Indian subcontinent, there are different steps. Earlier we were a big land, then we have this big single big mass. From there we get separated to small pieces, our pieces with Indo-Australia. Then again we have a correlation with a Euro-Asian plate. Then the sedimentary rocks formation into the formation resulted into Western Asia and Himalayas. The Himalayan uplift out of the Thyaces Seas and subsidence on the northern flank of the Peninsula Plateau resulted in the formation of large basin. In due course of time, this depression gradually got filled with deposition of sediments by the river flowing from the mountains in the north and the Peninsula Plateau in the south. So what happened? There were river flowing from Himalayas and which filled up the rivers flowing from the Himalayas, which filled up the deposition of sediments by the rocks, because we know rocks carry many sediments, the rivers carry many sediments along with them and start deposit. So from Himalayas they start putting up down the sediments and settle down in the peninsular plateau of southern. A flat land of extensive alluvial deposit lead to the formation of northern plains in India. So below the mountains, the northern plains in India were formed once the rivers from these mountains, the Himalayas, start moving it down, carrying all the sediments and minerals along with them over a period of time and start depositing over there. Yeah, once they come out down of the mountains and form a great alluvium land, yeah, deposit formation of northern plains, which are, we know the alluvium land or the river deposits lands or the river beds are really good for cultivation and agriculture. So once the rivers are flowing, they carry everything along with them and slowly वो settle होने लगे, settle होके धीरे धीरे it converted them into the northern plains जैसा area बनने लगा and they start depositing all the minerals and sediments which they have carried it from the Himalayas. The land of India display great physical variation. Geologically, the Peninsula Plateau constitute one of the ancient landmasses of the Earth's surface. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. The Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms. From the viewpoint of geology, Himalayan mountains formed an unstable zone. The whole mountain system of Himalaya represent a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys and fast flowing rivers. So it is considered the Himalaya is a young full mountains, and as the quality of young full mountains, they have very high peaks, deep valleys and fast flowing rivers. The northern plains are formed of alluvial deposit. The Peninsula Plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks which gently rising hills and wide valleys. So this is how the formation of Indian subcontinent took place. Yeah. So it is a whole process. Earlier a big landmass, then separation, then formation of Himalayan mountains. Through that the rivers started flowing, depositing the sediments and the minerals which they used to carry it from the longer distance. Yeah. And the plains were created. Yeah. And then we have a peninsular plateau composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks. So these are, now children, the next topic is the major physical division of India. If you look at this, our India is divided into 6 major physical divisions. That is our next topic. So the whole Indian landmass is divided into 6 major physical divisions. The physical features of India can be grouped under the following physiographic divisions. The figure is given over here. The next page, if you look at, these are the, in this map you can see the relief of all this, because about with the height only you will be able to understand this. This is Indian relief. Yeah. Now, so out of these physiological division, the first one is Himalayan mountain range. So second one is the northern plains. Below that, then we have peninsular plateau, then we have Indian deserts, then we have coastal plains, and the lastly is the island part. Yeah. So these are the 6 categories in which India is divided geologically. Now, what you need to understand here is like if you look at Himalayas, it is a great mountain ranges. It is not only one mountain Himalaya, it's a mountain range only. Many number of small and big mountains are a part of it. Now, in the beginning of the chapter only we told you that we can understand that this many different physical and geographical features you can find in a country like India. It's not possible for every country to cover all the geographical features, but if you look at the major geographical features, we have covered it over here. Yeah. Now, before we move on to study the Himalayas, the few things I want to just cover up. That first thing, Himalaya is the Yangfold Mountains. They are created around, I think so, 2500 million years back only. So the quality of all the characteristics of all the Yangfold Mountains, you can find it in Himalayas. Yeah. They are very high peak. The peaks are very high, sharp. The sides are very lofty, and valleys are very stiff. As you can see, the height is very high, peaks are pointed, and the sides are very lofty. The rivers flowing through the Himalayas are very they flow in a very swifty way, means very speedily, because due to the formation of Himalayas. Yeah. And Himalayas are made up of sedimentary rocks, and the later part, the northern and the peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys over there. So these are the few things we would continue in this chapter. If you look at on your book in page number 8 also, what we have studied till now, before we move on to Himalaya, I just want to add on to this. In this map, you can see different boundaries. One is destructive plate boundaries, constructive plate boundaries, uncertain plate boundaries, and direction of plate boundaries. So all the continents, the land masses over the earth's surface or the plates, they have explained the different types of boundaries. Yeah. Destructive boundaries are there. They are formed in a cone type. Then we have constructive plate boundaries. Then we have uncertain plate boundaries and direction of plate boundaries. And one more thing about the Gondwana land, I was just missed out in the beginning. That is, it is the southern part of the ancient supercontinent, that is Pangaea, with Angara land in the northern parts. So earlier, before these all plateaus or the subcontinents which we know it today, yeah, that we have 7 big continents and 5 oceans are there. The diversion of these, or the separation of these plateau continent, there was only one supermass, yeah, that we have studied, and from that there was a process over a period of time. The geographical changes brought this process and they were separated over there. So in the next lecture only, we will be continuing with our major physical division about Himalayas, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, Indian desert, coastal line, and islands. In that, we will be studying about different characteristics. We will studying about the characteristics of all the different physical features. Their characteristics includes, and which part of India is covering these features, and how our rich geographical culture is helping us to develop and grow more. Yeah. So I end up my lecture over here. Thank you, children.